I thought it would be helpful at the moment with everything that's going on with the coronavirus situation to clarify a couple of things about what you do if as a business you are suffering financially due to changes in the environment, people self-isolating or whatever it might be, and you need to lay staff off, make cuts, and suffering financially, you need to do something about that. With some businesses in some sectors, they have what's called layoff or short-time working clauses in contracts for staff. This is often in types of sectors where this happens a lot, and there's very, very seasonal demand or very up and down. So they have those in the contracts. If you do have those in your contracts, you can exercise that right when it comes to coronavirus having an impact. If you need to lay people off or put them on reduced hours, change their days, that kind of thing, and you have that right in the contract, you can go ahead and do that. So you just need to obviously communicate that with staff, be clear about things like timescales, how it affects their pay, any concerns they might have, but ultimately you can exercise that right and just write and confirm those things to them. But what do you do if you don't have those clauses in your employment contracts, which really most small businesses probably don't unless they're in a sector where that routinely happens? Well, the good news is it doesn't mean you can't do anything. If you are suffering as a business financially, you're having to close temporarily or just aren't getting the income to pay the staff you currently have, it doesn't mean you can't lay them off or reduce their hours, but what you do need, you can't just you need to seek their consent, basically. So the way you do that is just being very, very clear about what the alternative is. So consult with your staff. If the alternative would be having to make redundancies or having to close a business altogether, most employees at the moment would rather keep a job to come back to, and if you consult with them openly and seek their views and try and allay their concerns where possible, staff would generally rather agree to a layoff period or agree to reduce their hours temporarily than be redundant and the business perhaps go under and not have a job to come back to. So whether you have a layoff short-time working clause in your contract or not, you should be able to do something, and if that's what you need to do at the moment, seek advice is probably a good idea to make sure you do everything right, and don't place yourself at risk as a business for a legal challenge. But ultimately you can do what you need to do as long as you go about it right and consult with people. You can do what you need to do, and most people I think at the moment would rather that happen than lose their job entirely. So if you've got any questions, do let me know.